everybody. My name's Craig.
I'm Brian.
And I'm Burke.
And welcome back to Volaclazy.
No. Wait. Oh, my God.
And this is Get Dunked On, the podcast.
Way to stick the landing. No one noticed.
Oh,
you fucked up pretty hard there.
You did, man.
Sheesh.
Dude. So, fuck this week, guys. Like, I don't know what happened, but Monday, I had basically had a client going live, and I'm talking shit blew up. Whatever. And so I was like, and then my dog was going batshit crazy because I was working from home on Monday. I literally had to lock him up for the last hour of the workday because I was like, I will kill someone, and I don't want it to be my new puppy because he's so fucking cute. But anyways, that's been my week.
Well, I mean, wanting to kill a puppy is a pretty rough way to describe your week, to be honest with you.
Dude, I would never get there. Let me just be clear. Let me be clear.
I know. I would. Oh, let me be clear. It's me, Barack Obama.
Sad. So,
oh my God! Wait, are we gonna have the? Wait! Hold on. Craig, do President Bush, and we'll have the past 3 generations of presidents.
You know, I can't do any of the presidents. There's no presidential, whatever you want to call it, me acting like them. Impression. There we go. That's the word. There's no way I'm doing an impression of any of the presidents. I'm not good at it.
Well, I mean.
Okay.
You know, you never know if you don't try, but okay, go ahead, Bert.
Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of rewind a little bit. So, you know, needless to say, the week's been just a shit show this whole time. Like, you know, I tried to play some Diablo with you last night, Brian. Like, we got maybe an hour in, and we're like really close to the end, but we can't finish it before Thursday.
We're so close, people.
Just like nothing is falling into place, and I'm like, so basically, I guess we were talking, or Craig said, I got an idea. Let's just get fucked up on alcohol and, you know, of course, weed. And record a podcast and see where it fucking goes. And I'm like, that sounds perfect because I want to fucking escape right now. So let me just let everyone know I've already smoked a bowl and had an edible a little bit before that. So this is going to be an epic high. Hopefully not too much.
Well, I like that plan, and because of that, the topic being things that are fucked up, we have just kind of come together today to talk about things that we think that are kind of fucked up. All right. So this is not anything serious. We're not going to be like, oh, the economy or some weird shit like that. This is just arbitrary things that we just think in the world are kind of fucked up. So
can I start? Craig's intro was fucked up.
I agree. I think that was a brilliant start to this entire, podcast. But
you just get going on a roll on certain things like this, and you try, and it just comes out wrong. I did too many Volaclazy episodes in between this and the last one. I think at least one.
Maybe, no more than one, but at least one.
Actually, it wasn't between this one. It was between the last week is when we did the other one. So it hasn't even been one in the last week.
Oh yeah, it was the other D&D session. That's awesome. Oh my God. So Craig, how are you feeling, Craig?
Yeah, Craig, how you doing, bud? You ready to start this thing?
In there. I'm hanging in there. Yes.
All right. So let's
Burke
start off with
go first, and then he did the bait and switch and just talked about the beginning. But now we're going to go into what you actually had to say, Brian.
Well, I wanted to start things off with something really super serious, a pressing matter of our day that I think is pretty fucked up. Have you ever noticed that Donald Duck wears a shirt but no pants, but Mickey wears pants but no shirt? Have you ever thought about that?
It's more weird that they wear clothes in general.
But think about this. Goofy's the only fully dressed character in the Mickey Mouse universe. How fucked up is that? Yet Goofy is the only one who has a kid named Max, which means he had sex at some point. So what I'm saying is that the only person who's had sex with anybody in the Mickey Mouse universe is the only one who's fully clothed as well.
Allegedly.
He has a son. Like, what is it? What did he get the son by magic?
No, we don't know if the other ones are actually active with birth control and keeping up with things.
So, are you suggesting to...
It just happened.
I'm saying those mice might fuck, and we don't know.
You're suggesting to me that Minnie Mouse and Mickey Mouse are actually capable of going at it and do on a regular basis.
I'm assuming they are. I haven't investigated that hard into their genitalia to see if it's a possible thing. Or are you talking about like an emotional thing that are able to even do this? Like,
I'm saying on multiple levels here. I'm saying that it's weird to me that Donald Duck gets away with wearing no pants, whereas everybody else has to wear pants in that universe. That's the kind of shit that keeps me up at night. That's fucked up.
See, I thought you were going over to do a comparison of Donald Duck and Daffy Duck.
No,
and I was like, Daffy doesn't wear shit.
No.
Daffy's a duck.
Well, no.
And clearly
that universe makes sense because none of the animals wear clothes in that universe. I mean, if you think about it,
outside of potentially collars, but yeah.
Outside of potentially collars, but that's what I'm saying. But
Elmer Fudd.
Now
you said
human.
animals. God damn it, you did say animals.
I did.
Damn it,
yes.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Sorry.
None of the people in those Looney Tunes ever wear clothes.
Not a one.
I was like, God damn. Yeah.
So that is a simple example and something lighthearted for a starting one of things that are fucked up in the world. Burke, how about you? Hit me with one. What's something that you think is pretty fucked up?
Oh fuck, dude! I was not prepared for this shit. So I'm gonna go with me.
Okay.
Right now.
Okay. All right. Then I say, go ahead.
I'm trying to think of one. Give me a second.
Okay. Have you ever? And I'll throw this one out there while you're thinking.
Okay.
Have you ever thought about the fact that Lex Luthor is actually the good guy in the whole Superman versus Lex Luthor situation?
They both
I think it's
think
fucked
they're the
up.
good guy. They both think they're the good guy.
Exactly.
And his adversary.
Exactly. But
That's the entire ideology of everyone, though. No one ever actively thinks I'm doing bad. I mean, yes, they might think it's something that others don't approve of, but that's about it. Like, past that, man. It's just no.
So I'm not going to go Lex Luthor because I watched all the cartoons, but I don't know them as intricately as I've watched Supergirl. And has everyone here watched season 1?
yes.
Yeah. Or I guess I don't know what season it's on now. Whatever. But like season 1, or maybe it was season 2. Did they introduce the kind of like the Lex Luthor of Supergirl world, whatever his name is, Pretty Boy?
Yeah, the guy.
Like so like him, like you get that he's trying. He thinks he's doing good.
Mm-hmm.
On the whole, I mean, yes, he does some really weird shit in the background, like with experimenting on kids and whatnot.
Well, sure.
But like, it is because he wants to protect everyone from aliens and doesn't just trust them. And you kind of get that sense. And they put that, he's helped them out enough, and that you get that good sense from him that you kind of want to go, yeah. Or at least I do. I go, yeah, I could get behind that. I mean, I wouldn't go to that extreme, but I could understand where he's coming from.
So that begs the question: if Elon Musk is the closest thing we have to a real day Lex Luthor, and a Superman were to appear, would he be at odds with Elon Musk?
See, you can go one of two ways. You can either go the Lex Luthor route, or you could go the Tony Stark route.
That's true. You were very right on that. But then again, Tony Stark and Lex Luthor are effectively the same guy. I mean, if you really stop to think about it, when he built Ultron, when Tony Stark did that, is that not him just trying to essentially protect the world and save the world? But he does in fact hurt it, even though he's trying to help it, kind of like Lex.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all he says. Yeah,
one word.
Well, shit, you must have been in the debate club.
Shut it.
Sorry.
I was trying to think there for a second, but
you're fine.
I was trying to use figure out the words I really wanted to use on it, but it's just going back to exactly what I was saying earlier is, so what I was saying earlier was that they both think they're right. Regardless of which one you're saying is right and which one isn't right, or trying to put a morality spin on any of it, like they both think they're right.
That's true. But I mean, then again, so does Batman, and Batman could also be seen as a bad guy in some ways too. Just due to the fact that he exactly, he could be considered a bad guy in a lot of ways because realistically, he is just a man taking justice into his own hands, even though he says he claims to be justice itself. So, I mean, really, there's kind of a weird, complex issue there. But my point is, it's pretty fucked up. All right, Burke, do you have another one? Or Craig, do you have one? It's like, because otherwise we'll keep going down the list.
Keep going down the list for a little bit. I'm going to see if I get inspiration.
All right. This one is especially fucked up. Why is it that X-Wings in Star Wars fire red laser beams and TIE fighters and the Empire fire green.
Fucking
they all fire, but yet the lightsabers are flip-flop.
Yes.
So little consistency, please. Why do the rebels always fire red?
Yes.
And I've heard there's good rebels and bad rebels on both sides. the point is the Empire fires green in that. So what does that mean? Like, what does that mean? Like, does that mean like just the people in charge of the Empire are the bad guys, or does that mean that the Empire itself is really a good guy? What does that does that
Holy crap,
does
you
it
just
have
got
a background
super deep.
meaning? Yeah,
No,
I know.
No. It makes me think of manufacturing and purchase. Are they all purposely just purchasing the same color for the help of each other? Like, oh, that was my laser beam. Oh, that was my team's. Oh, red teams. Like.
Yeah, but why would the Empire not fire red?
Why wouldn't it be interspace? Why wouldn't they fire all the colors? Because they're different temperatures of bolts. Yeah, but does that mean they only work on like one temperature of bolts per team per side?
But
that
then
doesn't
you're
make
thinking
sense.
But you're thinking about it in terms of manufacturing. How are lasers produced on the side or in Star Wars beyond what we know from the lightsabers? And if you really think about it, is not a laser fired from a ship just a lightsaber without a hilt?
Yeah. I've already thought about that one. Like, I don't understand why they cut it off, and why not with the lightsaber? You just sit there and go, "Oh, I'm going to send this beam out," pew, and it just turns into a projectile as well, or like a long range weapon as well as a sword.
You can force the lightsaber. You're good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you could fire off a lot more shots with the.
And why
basically turn it into an automatic weapon?
It's because this is my theory.
Okay.
I'm just going with it.
All right, let's hear it.
So let's think about it in our terms. What came first, the sword or the gun?
The gun.
Yes,
the gun.
The gun came first. Yes,
Absolutely.
Yeah. So obviously, all those knights and whatnot, before guns were invented, they used fireworks, right? So they're battling with just fuck you, Brian. So, you made me go down a weird path in my high-addled brain. Let's see, weed-addled brain.
That's the point of this. That is the absolute point.
So swords came first, and you got to think like that was the ultimate technology that only Jedis had for some reason, right? And it has you have to use the Force and whatnot. So
now wait.
From that technology, someone was able to derive, obviously, swords are metal. Let's go with metals. The same thing. Like someone figured out and then how to combine what was in the lightsaber and invented blasters.
Now wait a minute. I'm going to stop you there because how much reading have you done on the extended universe?
Not much besides what's in games.
So in the books and stuff, it is explained that actually blasters came first, and that a lightsaber is essentially a frozen laser beam. That's what it is a frozen laser beam, like stopped, like essentially, like in time.
I did not know that.
And so, and actually, the original lightsabers had like packs that went with them, battery packs and stuff like that, which is actually kind of an interesting. Whatever. I'm not going to get into the whole background, but
is the only reason the lightsabers are frozen in place because of the Force?
No, it's because of the technology in the hilt and the battery inside of it. So like the what is it, the Kyber crystal, I believe is inside of it.
Yeah, I believe so.
Is the focusing crystal that allows the beam to be both colored and shaped, and it's the actual power of the internal battery that allows for the size of the beam itself. So the internal battery, so if you hooked up to a huge ass battery, the saber would be like fucking 40 feet tall. Like if it was a strong enough power source, like that's the way it's understood. But my point is that isn't it kind of weird that like it's like that? And also, why would they not? Or why would they? Let's say the Falcon, when you're firing, why do they fire individual laser bolts when they can just fire a solid laser beam, and go wow, and cut shit in half? If we've seen them cut through stuff
to heat. For heating purposes, to cool down the lasers. There you go.
Okay, Burke. I like your thinking. That is actually the first time I've heard anything that I believe based on that. Craig, how do you feel about lasers and specifically lightsabers in this situation?
I'm thinking Burke might have the best idea there.
So,
but the overheating thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was trying to think of some other mechanical reason why it wouldn't be able to open and sustain, but heat was the only thing I could come up with. So that's
and you know, you're also in space where it's fucking cold, so that you know, with superior technology,
sure,
why not?
Okay.
I do have another question. So if lightsabers nothing to do with the Force, it's the kyber crystals and the construction and all this, and they were invented somehow, how is it not more mainstream?
Because a lightsaber is one of those things where it's hard to use. Like, it's like using a real life sword. I mean, realistically, like, if I handed you a sword right now, Burke, would you be able to wield it? Well, sure, but you wouldn't be able to do much with it versus a guy who has a gun. The difference is that a Jedi, when they use a sword that can deflect actual gun bullets, that's what makes them deadly with it.
Okay.
So, like, it's kind of like how in the Clone Wars, how the one guy, the Mandalorian has the black one,
has the black saber sword.
Yeah. So technically, he can still wield it. Like, anybody could wield one, but it's just the effectiveness is up to the user.
Yeah. So
and
I mean,
Jedi just are like the ideal candidates to wield one. So it kind of like became associated with them.
I'm gonna go with the Sith or the appointed ones to hold those sabers, not the Jedi.
Are the okay? Not to make this a Star Wars podcast, but it's, you know what else is fucked up? The fact that Anakin really did bring balance to the Force.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, it was very lopsided in this like toward the Jedi, and they're like, he's got to bring balance to the Force. Technically, he fucking did. He like, if you think about what he did, he wiped out all the Jedi except for two, right? And the two were Obi-Wan and, of course, Yoda. And so the two Sith were him and Palpatine. So when Obi-Wan died, Luke became the next Jedi, which balanced the Force out again. At that point, basically, like, you know, the process continued where then Yoda died, so the Force is unbalanced, so he kills the Emperor. Boom, Force is balanced once again. But then that's the part that it's weird, where, like, basically he goes, well, I'm going to die now. He chooses to die, which technically ends the original series, where technically the light side has the one and only Jedi left on it. So technically, were the Jedi right that he would win the day and, like, oh man, he'd eliminate all the Sith? He did. But that's the kicker, is that he did it by balancing the scales first and then leaving only one left. You know, it's like the...
Oh. So thank you, Brian.
Yeah.
Like, because honestly, like, that the movie bothered me.
Which
the
one?
Most recent one.
Oh yeah,
the most recent one. I mean, besides all the whole flaws and whatnot and weird story arcs, but like the overall I wanted to come in. What I was expecting, and not from reading anything, but what I was expecting was, you know, him to go, Jedi, it's useless. It's useless. Let's just train you to be a Force user. And that's kind of what I was looking for, and I didn't get that. But the way you explained it there helps me kind of reconcile. It's all about the balance of the Force, and he very well could have been the last Jedi, and Snoke could have been the last Sith. Yeah,
and so, like, it's somehow in a weird sense. But now, if you think about it, about this. You can take it a step further now with the new movies and say, okay, is it okay? If you haven't seen the newest movie, I'm about to drop a major spoiler. This is your warning. This is your warning. This is your warning. Well, no. What I'm about to say is a huge spoiler, so I just want to make sure we're all clear on this. Okay, 3, 2, 1. So when Snoke dies, and obviously you have, oh my God, why can't I think of his name?
Rey?
No, Kylo. When Kylo takes over as, like, the main Sith.
Did I not just say Kylo?
You did. But
he said that first.
I was thinking of Ben. Like, sorry, I apologize.
Oh, Ben Kenobi.
Yeah.
Okay,
but
gotcha.
When Kylo takes over as, like, the main Sith, then now there's an imbalance again. Now there's two Jedi, but technically with both Luke and Rey. So then Luke inevitably had to die to balance it out once again. So now it's just the two of them, which is an interesting thing that I don't even know if the writers are doing on purpose, but they're constantly balancing the Force. Weird, right? That's fucked up.
Did they do it with... I know we just went through the entire listing of them, but was it at the end of every movie it was rebalanced already, or was it unbalanced and the next movie resolved that balance issue by then simultaneously losing it?
Let's think about that.
Well, okay, taking the prequels, ending like let's just say let's just look at the end of the prequels. No, let's look at the end of the prequels and then start it off as start off in a New Hope. It's balanced 2 and 2, right?
Okay. Yep.
Then in that same movie, it starts off 2 and 2. You lose Obi-Wan, replaced with Luke. So that's balanced at the end.
Does he get replaced right at the beginning? But does he replace at the end? But
he gets replaced, or he gets killed in the middle and replaced at the end by Luke. Because Luke, I would say, takes over the slot. You know, when he uses the Force to blow up the Death Star, right?
I'll give you that.
I mean, I mean, I'm not saying he's a full blown Jedi, but you get he's
because I was thinking Dagobah is when he's a Jedi.
Yeah.
So let's call it a little bit of an unbalance there. For what you said in the beginning,
we'll say 1.5. You know, at that point.
Well, I mean, but we have to call it black and white. At the end of the movie, it's unbalanced because Luke's not a Jedi. End of the second movie,
okay, end of the second movie, it's very unbalanced because now, at the end of that movie, it's still bad. It's 2 and 2.
It's 2 and 2.
It's 2 and 2.
Basically a null game.
Right. And then in the third one, Yoda dies, followed by Palpatine, and then obviously Vader follows that. So that means the only one left is Luke, which leaves the unbalanced at the very end. But that technically does fulfill the quote unquote fulfill the prophecy from the prequels of like, oh man, he's gonna make it great and get rid of all the Sith, and he does kill all the Sith technically, but he kills all the Jedi first. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Sorry, I just it's just one of those things where I thought that was kind of fucked up about the Star Wars franchise, and I didn't know if anyone noticed it or if it's just me or if I'm crazy.
So yeah, but was Snoke alive during the prequels?
We don't know who Snoke is because they didn't develop the character and then they killed him off. Oh, shit. Sick new franchise burn.
I'm still mad they haven't just got an array of different laser bolt colors.
Array.
It should be based on like heat or something along those lines, not party lines.
Not red and green.
Yeah, I mean it could be any two colors, but it's just those two colors and they stick to them. So it's like kind of like I was saying, like it feels like party lines. Like nope, we're only shooting red.
Well, and again, technically speaking, if you look at it, green lasers only exist from TIE fighters and from the exterior guns for the
Star Destroyers
for the Empire,
Resistance or Rebels.
Yeah, because like the standard Stormtrooper blasters are still red.
Red. Yep. Yeah. All blasters are pretty much red.
Yes, exactly. Okay. So, which I have to assume they're the cheaper version of it, and then obviously the other ones must be more powerful for taking down shields for vehicles, you know, for ships. Yeah. Like I have to assume, but
yes, that is a great assumption because think of the Death Star. That's no moon, and what color was it when it fired upon?
It was green. You're right.
Whatever it was called.
You're right. Yeah. You're right.
So that's a good assumption. More powerful, more green.
Yeah, I green must be the more powerful of the. Wow, holy shit! We just discovered some stuff here, guys.
No, it bothers me. It's just got to be by heat, like depending on how hot it is, because that's something in real life.
Is a green laser hotter than a red laser right now?
I don't know.
Yes, it is. No, that is true. That is true. I actually know that for a fact.
You're correct. It's about heat, and therefore makes them more powerful.
Oh, snap! Did we just crack this fucking code?
As long as they actually keep up with it when they're firing, and it's not all one side fires one color and the other side fires the other.
All right. Craig,
because I haven't paid attention that closely to who's firing what. It always just looks like red lasers coming from one end and green from the other, or whatever two colors you want to say. And it always felt like it was like, oh, it's like team association, like you're playing laser tag, blue team and red team, and you guys fire different colored lasers.
All right.
See, it always fucked me up just because as a kid I was like, but green's good, red's bad.
Exactly. I know, it's something that I thought about when I was a kid too. I was like, why did the bad guys, shoot green? But all right, Craig, your turn. What you tell me? What's something that's fucked up? Could be about anything. It doesn't have to be about movies or anything. Could be about life. Could be about anything.
The only thing that I can think of right now is technically on this past however long ago it was when the Super Bowl was, right?
Yep.
Were you actively rooting for one team?
I was personally.
Okay. All right. And did you want to see any of that team do well?
Specific members of the team or just the team as a whole?
Specific members or the whole, or how was it?
I wanted the team overall to perform well, yes. I was rooting for the Eagles, for the record, because I just didn't want the... Yeah.
Right, and the other team, did you want any of their players or staff or anybody to do well?
Oh, the other team, you're saying?
Yes.
Well, I mean, I wanted to watch a good game, but I didn't want them to win. So I wanted them to do well, but not well enough to win, if that makes any sense.
Because I was just... Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just giggling about how many people were wanting the Patriots that I knew, wanting the Patriots to do absolutely terrible, just get blown out 300-0. And they're also Detroit Lions fans. And that's bad because the Patriots... what is it? Defensive coordinator is already hired to be the Lions head coach for next year. And so by actively wanting to see the Patriots defense get shredded, meaning you're actively hoping that your new head coach is secretly not very good. And that fucked me up, dude. Like if you could somehow explain to me that you're like, I really want the Eagles to just blow them up, but it to be a dead stopped game and no one scores on that Patriots defense because that's our new head coach coming in next. I just got really fucked up trying to figure out how someone would want that. Like I would actively want the coach or manager or coordinator or whoever it is that is coming in for us. Like I want to see them do well elsewhere, so I know that okay, these guys are actually good. So that fucked me up.
Okay, no, and you know what? Speaking of which, that actually brings up another one. I think it's fucked up that Justin Timberlake, got to so when he did the halftime show, that man can do everything. I think it's unfair. He needs to leave some shit for the rest of us. Like he basically just has everything going for him at once. He can sing, he can dance, he can act. He's got Jessica Biel, who he's married to. He's got he's hilarious, obviously on Saturday Night Live and other places. Him and Jimmy Fallon are friends, and it's like, I mean, literally, like the guy has like the dream life, and I feel like he's being selfish, keeping it all to himself. And I think that's kind of fucked up. Am I wrong? I mean, tell me if I'm wrong. Is he not ripped and amazing and like hilarious and like has too much talent? Yeah. Whatever. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. Like I'm happy for him. I like watching some of the stuff.
I love watching him. That's the problem.
It's good. But like I didn't watch the half. I didn't watch the Super Bowl, so like I didn't see the halftime show. But I was like, oh, it was Justin Timberlake. I should have watched that, but I still haven't. So probably won't. But in all honesty, is it fair? I don't care. I don't want that life. I'm good. I'm good sitting here.
But wouldn't you want that life
with Craig,
in a way? Like not that
Papa Smurf and then Brian.
Hey,
and then Michelle. Yeah. We're calling it Papa Smurf because his camera's blue.
My camera's making me look all blue. So
and technically, he only hangs
today.
out with one girl, which is Michelle. So we all do. So that's. So, wait a minute. What would that?
Can't whistle.
What would that put us as? If he's Papa Smurf, what would you be, Burke?
I don't know the Smurfs, man.
Okay, are you saying the Smurfs, or are you trying to go a different franchise?
I was gonna say Smurfs, but what were you thinking?
I thought you were initially saying franchise. I was like, how the fuck do I connect the Smurfs with Burke or Brian? This is gonna be tough.
Oh no! Actually, now wait, do that. Go ahead, Craig. I want you to connect us to a franchise. Apparently, it's I had no thoughts on that initially, but now that you brought it up, go ahead and do it.
No, but that's what I'm saying. That confused me because like that's dumb. Why would anybody want to like connect it that way? When obviously the better joke, or not joke, but the better way to go into it would be to actually explore the different Smurfs that
that's what I was referring
my
to.
Underlings.
Because otherwise that'd be pretty fucked up.
Okay.
I'm agreeing with you. I just went one step.
Who would we be in the
further.
Smurf village? Who are we, Papa Smurf?
Let's see, Brian. What characteristics am I wanting to pull from you? My guess for the Smurfs, and I wasn't a big Smurf watcher, I don't know all of their names. Seriously, I think most of my Smurf knowledge is going to be coming from the Neil Patrick Harris movie.
Okay,
movies. I don't know if there's one or two of them.
There's two.
Okay. I think I only saw one, but regardless, which one's the dorky one? I'm giving that one to Burke.
Wow! Wow!
Thank you.
Whatever.
He's like,
more,
dick shit Smurf. That's the one. It's like, wow, that's cool.
No, you know what? I would have believed you.
Not dick shit. It'd be like Dictionary Smurf. He's the smart one, but he's got the glasses, and he's kind of sure. There we go. Is that his name?
There's Brainy Smurf, who's the smart one.
Yeah, I'd give that to Burke.
Oh, okay. So I get Dick Lick Smurf, and he gets Brainy. Really? That's rude.
No.
No.
Not rude.
Am I Gargamel or what? Like, what's happening here?
That's funnier. That's a lot funnier. He was Gargamel, but he's got the cat, and that just wouldn't work. You'd get all sick around.
I'm terribly allergic. Yeah.
It's either that, or you'd have to spend most of your life savings on Benadryl for every day of your life.
That's true. Although, why did he want the Smurfs? Aren't they gold? Like, nobody told me like what the Smurfs. Like, why did he want the Smurfs?
I don't. I think he just wanted to eat them. Wasn't that the whole point? Was he was just wanting to eat them?
That's the big mystery. Is that was he like? No one knows because some people were like, "Oh no, he wants to turn them into gold," and other people were like, "No, he wants to eat them."
He's not Rumpelstiltskin.
Well, no, like supposedly the Smurfs, if you boil them, turn into gold or some shit. Like, I'm not joking. Like, that's a thing.
Is this like a Brothers Grimm tale? Is this where they pulled this thing from?
How could you,
dude? We should do that. At Michelle's wedding, we find a bunch of Smurfs and boil them.
Wait,
so we can give her a gold gift.
So we can give her a gold gift.
I thought that you were saying like at Michelle's wedding we tell ghost stories of Brothers Grimm. I was like, gather around, ye children. Let me tell you a tale.
I thought you were saying we needed to boil ourselves to turn gold and then go to Michelle's wedding. I was like, that seems just horribly bad.
Have we boiled ourselves and turned into gold?
Yeah, that'd be.
Okay,
who's got the Midas touch?
Craig.
So would you? Okay, go ahead.
Let's just say that if theoretically, if you went into boiling water, you could turn into gold. Okay, would you or would you not dip your pinky in and snap it off and sell it and be rich forever? So you have like you dip your pinky in, turn it to gold, snap it off your body, and could sell it. Would you do it?
Not pinky, no. I'd have to be really desperate for it to be the pinky. I would start with like your pinky toe.
Okay.
I know they're smaller, but if you get both of them, they're not really needed. And then I'd probably end up going for maybe I don't know. I guess maybe the ring finger first.
Wow.
I'm trying to spread the damage out so I can at least grip things.
No. The reason Craig wants his ring finger cut off is because he wants to be an assassin.
That's true.
I was just trying to think. I'm like, you're not going to take the pinkies or the thumbs. You need that. Like, you need these three. So the middle and the ring finger are the only two that are kind of auxiliary to where you could really, because you need this like hook around on some things, right? Mm-hmm. So it's more of a grabby motion rather than like a fan, like you're waving. So. Like you'd have to be the middle finger or the ring finger, and I'm assuming the ring finger just because it's a little bit weaker, and it frees up the pinky to work on its own.
All right. So you know what's fucked up is the idea of you selling body parts at all.
Yeah. I asked Brett today how much organs were worth. I was like, maybe if I sell a liver, I get half of that back, right?
Real? Oh wow, selling a liver? I'm pretty sure you only have one of those, buddy.
Well, yeah, I was saying you cut off because isn't the liver one of the only things you can cut off like 60% of it and it still
functions
grow back fully?
Yeah,
no,
sure.
Like fully grows back.
I didn't know that.
I don't know.
I think it's the liver.
So, but who needs 40% of a liver?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Well,
they'll regrow it.
Yeah, I would regrow it if I could give.
Well, I understand that. I'm saying, but if you cut off 40% of your liver and gave it to somebody, but you need 60% to regenerate, then who needs 40% of a liver?
Someone that already has
20%
of a liver.
What are you sewing together livers? Hey, you two, you guys get together and work.
Y'all two are compatible here. Just take 30%. Just sew them together and here, give it to the donor.
Fucked up.
Medical science right there.
It'd be better if it was 50-50. Like if you could work with 50%.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be nice.
All right. You guys, let's say what's something that's fucked up? What do you guys think is fucked up? Either one of you, doesn't matter which. I'd say you guys can go ahead.
I'm honestly thinking about the ramifications of taking my liver out and dipping it in gold. That's pretty fucked up, man.
No, that is, but I'm saying like something else entirely. So like jump subjects completely, just something else that you're like, you know what? Look at the world and say, you know what? That's pretty fucked up.
America.
The first thing I can think of that's not political is that this is way out there right now. Our controllers, like it's only a little bit of code that's really stopping them from talking to different systems. Like if I wanted to plug in my Xbox One controller and play my Switch, I can't unless, I mean, there is a way now, but
you're saying like for connect. Okay.
No, I'm just saying they're all the same types of devices. They're all talking on the same wavelength, basically. But the companies are like, nah, they don't talk to each other. And I fully understand it, but I'm like, it's fucked up still at the same time that you're like, you're so close, but you just can't talk to each other.
Like, yeah, they use all the same channels and 5.4 gigahertz. Yes, it is. I would. I would love to be able.
What if it?
To just crack that code. Just
what if they came out with the Nintendo Play Box, which is literally all three in one, right? And it's just one giant system that housed Nintendo, Xbox, and PlayStation and all that stuff. Do you think it could compete with and or beat like eclipse the PC market? Yeah. Could it destroy PC gaming as a whole if the Nintendo Play Box existed?
No. It would not.
No?
No. Just because because you got to think iterations. Like iterate. Like you have to buy up the Xbox One X is out here. Slip that in here. The PS4 Ultra's out here. You got to buy other stuff. And while PC gamers do that too, it's still going to be a little bit more consistent. And like when you're hardcore PC gamer, you're not changing. Yes, you could, I love gaming on my PC. I play console more because y'all play console. Like if y'all were PC, I would never look at a console, just because of the power and the customization. The more customization I could do with the PC, not in game, and just how it looks. Says the guy with a water cooled computer that he built himself. So I mean,
yeah, okay. I get that makes sense. I get that.
But I mean, would I, if I hadn't, let's say, if I hadn't already had, one of the systems, the X, I would probably consider.
Well, I'm saying let's just pretend it was the next
awesome.
Generation system. But yeah, I got you. I get what you're saying now.
Oh yeah, if that came out right out the bat and it had all three
as one, yeah.
Oh fuck yeah, I would buy that. Well, especially if I could use my Xbox controller with everything.
All right, let's do this one. I think it's fucked up that sometimes people can write one song or one book and be set for life. Like realistically, if you think about it, there are some people out there who wrote one-hit wonder songs. Like they had one good idea in their life that literally carried them their entire life, and they never had to do anything again. You know what I mean? Like so, for one-hit
dude,
go ahead.
Like J.K. Rowling in that fucking Harry Potter franchise.
What a
fuck that!
What a
one-hit wonder.
Piece of shit one-hit wonder. I mean, he said it was a one franchise wonder, but it's only 7 books.
Well, that's what I was making sure of. That we're talking. We're not talking franchise. We're talking.
We're talking
single.
We're talking like Sir Mix-a-Lot came out with
single.
Baby Got Back and literally never had to do a thing again in his life.
Oh, I know. I literally had to say that because of Authors and Dragons and Steve's hatred of. I'm sure. It's so awesome.
I hope it's not a hatred. I hope he's just joking around.
I think he is.
I don't know who this guy is, but I support him.
He's hilarious.
He's hilarious.
God, I need to watch that. But anyway, but yeah. So what about you, Craig? It's like, would you like? Let's just say that you like. How do you feel about that? First of all, like, if you came out with one hit song, like, do you think that would be the coolest thing on earth, or would be the worst thing because then you're only known for that one thing?
I don't know. I see cons on both sides. Pretty much some of the first things I see. Just, okay, I have a one-hit wonder. Great. Now am I going to be mad that that's all I could ever get? I did that one thing. Do I want to keep going? Or am I going to be more pissed off that I'm constantly getting bothered by people if I actually do a longer term thing?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can see how you're like, fuck. But, I feel like if I was given the opportunity, I would like to.
I'm imagining Craig as Vanilla Ice.
Oh Lord!
Yeah. I'm imagining you as Vanilla Ice singing "Ice Ice Baby," and like that's
so
your
20
one
years
hit.
later, I can do a really shitty couple movies with Adam Sandler.
Exactly. Hey, whoa! Come on.
They're enjoyable. Doesn't make them good.
I didn't mind that movie. I really didn't. Like, wait, which way? You said 2. I only. No.
Well, any of the stuff he does now.
Oh yeah.
Just like the Netflix and stuff like that.
Hey, he dated Madonna, and he turned her down. Remember that? He broke up with Madonna.
And remember, his song goes bum 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 ba dum bum. It's different than Queen's.
That's true.
I mean, just you got to keep that out there.
Bum 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 ba bum bum.
God damn.
Hey, Burke, I need you to stop. Collaborate and listen.
It's not Hammer Time.
No. Oh. Actually, that's another good example of a one-hit wonder song. But or if I said the name Cisco, what is the one song you think of?
Totally not Thong Song.
Exactly.
That guy did so much other than that.
Have you ever thought about the fact that guys
That is not the song I thought of.
from Cisco?
Yeah,
Cisco had another song.
Yeah.
I think it was Cisco, and the only reason is because there was one girl I was dating in high school, and she was obsessed with like his Angel song or something.
Angel song.
Hold
Are you
on.
sure? Okay,
Hold
all
on.
right. Oh, here we go.
We're
We're going down the deep road.
Fucking I can't even spell.
Oh my god! I hope you're able to find this. But anyway, in the meantime, yeah, no. As far as I know, Cisco really basically had the thong song, and that was like it. But unless he had magically something else that I have no idea about, because that was like his big thing.
Did you play football in 8th grade?
Did I? Yeah.
Yes. Did you ever listen to our coaches constantly play the thong song as they drove in and out of practices?
Oh God, no, I did not.
Okay.
I never noticed it. Or if I did, I didn't notice. Or
all the
you know
time. Because I remember one of the coaches had Matt, and his last name starts with a T.
Okay.
Like I remember him sitting on the back, and they were like singing thong song as he like rode in the back, because one of them had a convertible. While
he I'm referring to Burke, that is, finds the song, I'm going to mention this to you. Do you ever think it's fucked up that guys have literally 3 options as far as underwear is concerned, whereas girls have literally a dozen? I mean, if you think about it, guys can either wear boxers, boxer briefs, or briefs, right? Those are the 3 options.
There's a 0 option as well.
I'm not counting none because Commando's
2, 3.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say 3. Yeah, but the point is that those girls seem to have
I'm putting close at 0. So if you work as a programmer and you start from 0, you work as a newbie and you start from 1. They end at the same number.
My entire point was that I think it's fucked up that guys seem to only have 3 options versus girls have dozens.
Stopping them from a dude from wearing a thong.
Well, no, I'm not saying there isn't. I'm just saying that they don't make it. Like, you know, not that I want it, but I'm just saying that. Have you ever thought about it?
You're getting into like gender norms territory.
It's not a gender norm thing. I'm just saying that it's a fashion thing.
Underwear?
What is that? How do you?
Okay. Then now you're just going with societal. So like that's just. Yeah, never mind.
Like you're like, oh God, we're going down a road you don't want to go down.
I don't know. Just keep going.
Okay, fair enough. Burke, did you end up finding the song?
Nope.
So it doesn't exist.
Probably wasn't that motherfucker. Who knows?
Cisco, also known as the artist formerly known as that one motherfucker. Oh my God.
No clue.
All right, Burke, hit me with one. What's something that you think is fucked up? Off the top of your head, hit me.
Dude, man, this weed's fucking kicking in.
Oh God.
Oh shit.
Okay, I think it's fucked up. So go ahead. I'd say I had another one, but you go ahead.
I'm going to think of one.
Okay, you do your thing. Do you want me to go with another one while you're doing that, or you?
No, because I will get totally distracted. The only thing I will focus on is what you're speaking on.
Okay, hit me then.
With this shit, it's like there is no multitasking. There is only
there's no side quest. There's only the main.
Yeah, very much so.
I'm with you.
Fuck it, I ain't got shit.
Okay,
I'm gonna Google something and not pay attention.
Okay, no problem. You Google. I'll go ahead and hit you with another one. I think it's fucked up that I can't tell people's ages anymore. I have no idea how old someone is. Like people walk, like I see people like just out and about in daily life, and I'm like, that person looks like they're 12, and they're like, I'm 49, and then another person comes up, I'm like, oh, that person's clearly in their 30s, and like there'll be a girl like I'm 16, and I'm like, wow, like okay, I literally have no idea on people's ages anymore.
I just think that it's everybody's got a really good gauge for how old somebody is around their age. Because of maybe just similar like aging, whatever, human nature to be able to kind of find people your own age. I don't know. I think it's more of that. You just kind of bubbled into where now, like, people that are kids, you're like, I have no idea. People that are older, but you are probably going to be able to pick out people our age within about a 3 to 4 year range either way.
I'm not like it's weird. I literally don't have that ability. If that's an ability that you guys picked up, I missed that one in the last level up because like I did not get that. Like I literally was like I was at the gym the other day.
Were you better as a kid though? Like,
I was better as a kid than I
everybody
am now.
In general. Like, could you have given me the difference between, like, in essence, a 55-year-old and a 75-year-old?
Oh hell yeah! No, I yeah, absolutely. I could have done that as a
child.
Kid. As a child. Like now, I could still like 55 and 75 is a pretty distinct gap.
Okay,
but
so
I'm
then what's the range
like,
that you're having a problem with?
I have a problem with ages like basically the ages of like 20 through ages like 38. Like somewhere in that range, like where like there's an 18-year gap of I'm like, you could either be fresh out of high school or you could be like on your like third mortgage. Like I have no idea what your life is like. Like I have no idea. I'm bad at gauging people, I guess, on that regard. And I think that's pretty fucked up.
Your mind's all fucked up, Brian.
That seems rude.
I know. I don't have that problem. I can tell rough ranges.
Okay.
I could never tell ages ever. Like you were saying, you were decent as a kid. Nope. I've been bad
never been good
life.
at it.
Yeah.
Okay. Burke, did you end up finding your Google thing?
No, but I'm just gonna spitball here. I think it's fucked up that I've never seen Master Chief's face after 5 fucking games.
No, actually, I agree with that. I think that is pretty fucked up. Like,
I mean, and we're taking this a step further. So, Halo came out on the PC and they hacked the game so they could move the camera around. Because if you remember, in the end of 1, he starts to take off his helmet and then puts the helmet down. So, that's what happens. You know what they found when they hacked it and moved the camera?
Another helmet.
Another fucking helmet.
Right.
I know.
The problem is that Chief is kind of hidden away. And I understand that the idea of that is they're like, oh, but you can put yourself in there.
That's what I was about to say. I was like, the same thing with, it's pretty fucked up. We haven't heard Link's speak yet when they've already got some games with some VO work on them.
But you see how Link looks is the difference. Like, Link is a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, like, elf man. You know what I mean? Like versus Chief, you can hear him all the time going Cortana, but like
then it's even more putting yourself into the role.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like at this point, shouldn't we just break it? The character, it's time. I think I agree with Rick. We should have seen him by now.
I don't think they even give us color in the books, do they? They don't say like any race.
Well, I mean, they say all of them are pale. That's pretty much it.
Pale now, but it didn't mention anything when he's a child.
No. I don't think so.
I don't think they really mention any form of skin color at all. So I feel like the entire Spartan fleet is just, you don't really know. Of the Spartan 2s, not talking like the most recent, like Spartan, I guess, whatever, past 4s. I guess we know a couple of the 4s, but 4s and past.
Yeah.
So you'd want to keep it a secret, Craig?
Yeah, I'd say keep it a secret at this point.
I don't know. Like that's kind of a tough call.
See, I can't like when y'all were comparing like the I guess the styles of Link, the character that doesn't talk versus Chief who does, and like Craig, you were saying you're more immersed in like the Chief or the Link. I mean, obviously I know they're different game styles, but like Link as a character, not the rest of the world. I guess
I would more identify or be able to project myself into. Or I'd see people doing it more with Link, but that's just me because that's what I thought initially, and then Brian was like, "Oh no, the other way around," and so that's.
Well, I mean, really, Link is so you being a dark-haired, bearded man versus Link is a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, elf man, but you're able to put yourself into his shoes.
Then again, I'm more of an audio learner, and I'm not a pictorial person in terms of anything. I'm more of mechanical. I don't have pictures of things in my head when we go through it. Like when we're playing D&D, it's more of a mechanical thought process.
That's true.
So that's probably where I get it, where it's like, okay, this voice could be me, but I hear the words and I hear the person. I feel like that identifies them as this separate person, but this person that's not talking, I can put my words in there. more so, and change who this person is rather than this guy telling me why he's doing something, rather than me making up headcanon of, oh, well, my Link character is doing it because it's me and I'm a good guy. That's why I would do this. But I hate chickens, and they start slashing the cuckoos.
See, like, I don't have that imagination to go that route. At least I don't think it, like, because like when I'm sitting here, someone talking to me, like, there's no dialogue that's happening with me. I'm just listening to them. Like, so if someone tells me a story, like it's Master Chief's story, right? He doesn't talk too much, but there is story there, and like I get more connected to that than I do to Link as the character. It's more of, oh, this is the Zelda world that I'm trying to save, but it's Link and he doesn't have a personality.
So essentially, he's such a blank slate that it's almost even more of a detriment, to where it's like he's literally just so blank that you're like, wow, I can't even project myself into that part of it, because you don't associate with him, and it's a blank slate. Versus Master Chief, you're watching / playing through his story, and so and that's kind of how I feel as well. So that's why I was saying that I think that it would be I'm not going to say beneficial, but I think it'd be time / whatever that you see what Chief looks like, and I'd be okay with it. Unless they made him look like a total like goof, and then I'd be like, okay, no. Like if they took it off and he just looks like like
Vader after he took his helmet off.
I actually didn't mind. Did you mind that when you were a kid, what Vader looks like? I didn't, because like I looked at him and I was like, I'm like
shocked. It shocked me.
I cried. I was like, he's a sad old man. I was like, oh fuck. Like I cried.
And then you see that I saw the scars. I'm like, oh my god, he got what happened to him? Like, I got that, but I was still just a kid. I was like,
Yeah. When I remember, actually, I read you remember Wizard magazine? You guys remember that?
No.
I never read it. No.
Yeah. So Wizard magazine, there was an article in it that literally was talking about famous masks, and it showed Vader's mask, and it talked about like this is before the prequels, like where it talks about like Vader wears this breastbrader mask because he was fucked up on Mustafar. And I was like, and I remember seeing it as a kid. This is before the prequel, before they had ever talked about like any of it, as far as that was concerned, in the movies were concerned anyway. And I was like, oh fuck, that's why he's all like weird and shit, is that he literally fell into lava on this planet called Mustafar. And so when I remember watching the Revenge of the Sith, and I was watching it going, oh shit, this is the part where he gets fucked up on Mustafar. And I was waiting for it the whole time, and he goes, Anakin, have the high ground. I'm like, don't do it, Anakin. He's like, whoa, whoa. And cuts his limbs off, and I'm like, oh shit, this is the part. So yeah, Wizard magazine didn't lie to me, is my point. Trust Wizard, kids.
Man.
The other thing is that realistically, think about it, that means that I wonder how tall Vader is, or he was, before they added on the mechanical limbs, because the mechanical limbs made him actually taller than he was.
Oh yeah.
Does that mean that he was like 7 foot something after the mechanical limbs, but before he could have been like a 5'2", like, nothing guy?
I don't think he was that
in my head. I picture him kind of that way now, because I think it's funnier. Like he's got this Napoleon complex. He's like, I have all the midichlorians. I'm really good. It's like prequels suck.
So he puts on like full stilts.
Yeah. Well, no, they did. They actually did make him all like his mechanical stuff made him way taller than he was. So, but yes.
God, now I just want to go watch the end of Rogue One.
Oof.
And just just that last scene.
That scene was so fucked up. It was beautiful. That's it. That really was. Like it was. That was a great scene. That was arguably one of the best scenes in all of Star Wars, in my opinion.
Oh, that was amazing. Like just the Imperial March music.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I'm getting chills thinking about it right now. Going, oh yes, do it.
Oh man.
And oh my god, and then just seeing him wreck through everyone in a completely different manner than you saw it in episode 4.
Well, it was always implied danger with him in all of the like the originals, versus like in that one you got to see like him just on display. You know what I mean?
this was the Vader that we all had nightmares about. Vader.
Yeah, it was the Vader that you're just like,
Mhm.
oh no, this guy will. Yeah,
Do you think they'll ever explore those years?
if they want to make money, they will.
Because they
Oh
just
my God.
signed on the guys from Game of Thrones to do their own movie series for Star Wars.
How long till they quit? But production issues.
If they give them free reign, dude, they could make because they're supposed to just write it. It's the creators. Well, obviously Game of Thrones is the book, but the guys that like redid it for the show, they're going over there and doing it for its own series. So we got
That'd be interesting.
we've got the Ryan Johnson series that has nothing to do with the Skywalker family, and we've got the Game of Thrones guys doing their own version that has nothing to do with the Skywalker family. So it wouldn't be them. So it would be quite a bit out if you're going to do some kind of like trilogy movie or anything like that, or trilogy set of his middle years. I guess you could probably only do it in 1 year potentially, but that would just feel like it's just a snapshot of a small amount of time where you'd want to show like different years throughout. I don't know. I guess I'd want different years.
I think, and I think, there's a lot of Empire fans out there.
Oh God, yes, there is.
Like huge. Oh, but still, we have movies that are focused on the rebels, and I don't think Disney's gone. We could go full evil.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair with you though, like if they tried to do that, they might fuck it up. Like it's almost better to leave it in your imagination. I mean, and this is going to be kind of a weird example, but do you remember the movie The Sorcerer's Apprentice?
Never saw it.
Exactly.
Wait. With Nick Cage.
Yep, with Nicolas Cage.
Yep, I've seen it.
So like they came out with Pirates of the Caribbean, everyone's like, oh fuck yeah, cool. They made a ride into a thing. And they're like, hey, remember that one scene in Fantasia? Let's make a movie about that, but not stick to anything that we saw there. Like, and they took a huge risk and they tried to like make something out of it. They tried to make a franchise out of The Sorcerer's Apprentice, and it was a complete and utter disaster. Nicolas Cage is like, I'm more of a magic protector. Like it was literally just a nightmare of a like movie.
Do you think it's more based on Nick Cage?
No, I think he did. I think he did exactly what he was asked. Like Nicolas Cage, I don't think that Nicolas Cage turns in bad performances. I think that he turns in exactly what people ask, and then they realize that maybe what they asked wasn't very good afterward. Like they're just like, well, we hired Nicolas Cage. What did we expect to happen here? And he's like, okay, I work with Merlin. And it's like, really? Okay, Nicolas Cage working with Merlin. I guess that's what we're dealing with now. But like that movie. It was fucked up. I don't know if you watched it recently, but it's awful.
I've only seen it years
it was
ago.
not good.
Whatever.
Like, and don't give me.
I probably won't watch it.
I mean,
sorry.
I hate to say that because, like, I'm sure people worked very hard on that movie, but like, fuck, it's a bad movie. Oh my god. Did you like National Treasure? By the way, I know we're referencing it. Did you actually like that movie? I did. I actually kind of liked it.
I enjoyed both of them.
I enjoyed,
yeah, I did too.
Yeah, I
like Nicolas Cage in those
fun.
movies, like that
fun.
one, like Face Off. Like he has some hits in there.
They were good story. Like for me, it was National Treasure was just a good movie, good story overall. Just because I loved Tomb Raider.
Sure.
And that's that was like, oh, it's a movie about Tomb Raider that's not Angela Jolie. Crazy weird Tomb Raider.
Did you like Angelina as a Lara Croft?
Not really.
Even with her CGI boobs?
I haven't watched them. Well,
do you remember that?
The game was called Boob Raider.
Well, no, do you remember that? Like that was a fucked up scene. Like they literally CGI'd her boobs to be bigger. Do you remember that?
No,
that's
a
real thing that happened. Look it up, people. I'm just saying it's weird. It's fucked up thing that happened in cinema. That's right. That's right.
Well, you got the new Tomb Raider comes out in March.
Based on the new version of her, right?
The new reboot,
yeah.
Which is I actually, I grew up like, oh, Lara Croft fantasies, blah blah blah. Yet this new one in the games, like, it's so much more real.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I like this Lara Croft so much better.
Hold on, time out, Burke. I have a magic wand, and I can bring to life the Lara Croft from the original. Or I can bring Lara Croft from the new ones, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the one from the original is not going to be all polygonal and shit. It's going to actually be like a real woman, obviously.
It's not going to be.
No,
pixels.
it's not going to be weird like square pixel boob thing, girl. Yeah. So, but like my point is, I can bring her to life. which one would you choose? The one that's like over the top, like crazy, like, you know, action Lara Croft, or the one that's like realistic, like, oh my God, I've been stabbed, like realistic or Lara Croft?
Just on physical attraction alone?
I didn't say anything. I just said, which one would you bring to life? I'm not going to give you any more detail than that. I'm going to let you.
Fuck you.
Now it's in your court.
I'm still going with the new one.
Just reboot easy.
Yeah,
really?
Easy.
Yeah.
Oh man,
it's. I mean, yes. Like I'm talking just physical. Looking at them, like that's just too fake. I'm gonna go with the real. The real.
Yeah, but like the original. I mean, damn, she's confident. You know, she does everything.
She was a badass. Like, she was a badass. But like, so was the new girl.
I'm not saying that was not.
No, I feel like the new girl is more, and it's not like a timidness. It's more of just like she's being real. Rather than being
she's
this
thrown
like
into
bravado.
a weird situation. It's like,
and she's like, oh shit, what's going on?
Yeah,
I don't know. It seems
God.
more human. It seems more human and somebody I'd actually feel like dealing with, rather than dealing with potentially. All I know is this person of the older one is just like, oh, badass, bravado. She knows she's going to kick ass type thing.
Cocky.
Gosh, I just wouldn't want to deal with that constantly. Where it's like they're always right. Like I just want to have a conversation. We decide what's going on. I don't know.
So kind of like dealing with the real life Angelina Jolie versus not.
Yeah,
it's like, oh,
pretty
shit.
much.
Kind of, yeah. Huh, what do you know?
Oh God.
But I'm looking forward to that new Tomb Raider.
Okay. All right.
I am.
Well, I have to say that though today we explored a lot of things in this world. We hit the hard issues, guys.
We did.
We hit things like Mickey Mouse. We hit things like Star Wars. We hit things like Tomb Raider. The hard-hitting issues of our day. We found what was fucked up. But I guess the reality of it is the only things that were fucked up is us.
You just got dunked on.